Hello, and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. Today is Tuesday, February 19th, and this is episode 53, I think. So, I apologize, the recording is a little late. Wow, look at that. A little flushed with my translucent skin of the redhead. I apologize. The show's a little late this week. I had totally forgotten that yesterday was President's Day, and therefore my child would be off school for the day. Good thing she told me on Friday. I'd been at the bus stop like, what's going on? But anyway, so I didn't think to tell you that I probably would be late recording because we shenaniganed. Oh, that's right. We shenaniganed. It was super warm here for like 12 hours. I mean, it was super warm for February. We still had to wear coats, but it was super warm for 12 hours. So we went out into the world and we shenaniganed. Really, we just went to the park. But we went to like the fancy park, which was very fancy. Except that because it is February and it is just a thaw in the middle of the major winteriness, it was a giant mud pit. Now, the playground itself has the mulching. And let me just discuss. This is such a fancy playground. I've said that before, so I won't get into it. But kids these days with their fancy playgrounds. Anyway, so it was all fancy. But of course, my child played on the playground for like 15 minutes and then was like, Ma, look at that hill over there. Why don't we go run on it? I'm like, well, you can run on it. I'll walk you over there. And that's what we did. Except that in the walking over there, it was a hike. Nah, it was a walk. It was a walk to the hill. So we walked to the hill, and of course, I didn't, at this point, still had not realized how muddy it was because we had walked on sidewalk to the playground. Because, you know, what is it? Don't put your boots on the roots or whatever. Anyway, if there's a sidewalk, walk on it. It's better for the grass and the plants and whatnot that you don't smush down their roots. So we had been so then we off-roaded it to the hill. Off-roaded it on our feet, not on our car. Off-roaded it to the hill, and I almost fell on the butt. Because the playground is like kind of raised, and so we had to, you know, and then, well, on the way, oh my gosh, I was just not anticipating it. So I'm just like barreling on through, and as soon as my heel hit the mud, it was all I could do not to fall right on my high knee in front of lots of people. But anyway, we like went to the hill and we frolicked and we walked around, and then my daughter decided that she should really commune with the mud. I found a place to sit. So I was all working on my La socks, except that I didn't have a cable needle. So I left it here. It's still over there looking at me like, hey, why didn't you take me with you? So I had to find like a pine needle to use as my cable needle. That's right, kids. Cabling in the wild. So anyway, so I'm like all sitting on my rock. And it's not warm yet, by the way. You know, it's in the 40s. So I'm sitting on my rock with my tiny socks, 2 at a time, in my project bag, and my pine needle cable needle. Actually, it wasn't a pine needle. It was like the stem of a leaf. But you know what I mean. That I had, by the way, that I had to like gnaw down into a point fine enough because I'm knitting those stupid socks on zeros. And so, like, you know, usually you can just like find a branch or something, but it is so tiny. I'm whittling it with my teeth because that's how hardcore I am. Substitute the word crazy. That's fine. Anyway, so I'm sitting on my rock, all working on my socks, and then like I hear my child making lots of happy noises, which I'm pretty sure means that she's into so much trouble. But I'm just trying not to overparent, you know? Like, she's safe. There's no cars anywhere. The chance of a giant vulture-y bird swooping down to get her is pretty minimal. So I'm just trying to not overparent. I look up, and she is up to almost her knees in mud. she found like a bog, like in the middle of the not bog. She found a bog because she's awesome like that. And then she's all like, "Mom, I lost my shoe." Oh, you better find that shoe because that is your school shoe. Because she only has school shoes. She's a pair of sneakers, a pair of not sneakers, and those are her shoes. So then we had to like excavate her sneaker from the bog. And we may have found a Cro-Magnon man. I'm not sure. We left him there. So we had to like dig out her shoe. And then, of course, after all of this, it's like lots of time has gone by. And I'm all happy, by the way. I'm not like uptight about her being in the mud. I'm just like, oh, look, my kid. There's a beautiful playground over there, but she just wants to play in the mud. Now, why she won't play in the mud in my backyard, I don't know. Like, why I had to drive somewhere for her to play in the mud. That's an issue, but let's not split hairs. Let's just enjoy that she is playing in the world without any sort of man-made interference. You know? That's what I'm doing. But then when we get done, or, when I'm like, okay, dude, my behind is literally as cold as the rock beneath it, and I am all in the winds all, I'm done now with nature for a minute. She's like, let's go play on the playground. Like, you can't go play on the playground. You have mud all over you. You will get that mud all over that playground, and all those other children with uptight parents, which, I don't mean, it could be me. Maybe I'd be like, dude, we're supposed to go somewhere after this. I'm not judging. I'm like, you're going to get your mud all over the playground, and then, I'm going to get so many dirty looks. I just don't feel that I don't have the spirit to deal with today. Some days I just don't have that spirit. I just want to fight the people who give me dirty looks, and that was the day I was having. It's like, I can't deal with all those dirty looks. I'm sorry I'm hampering your joy, but I can't deal with it. So we take her over. Luckily, she's wearing like crazy socks that are like actual like skiing socks, knee socks. I don't know how we had the foresight to put those on. It was dumb luck, quite frankly. But so she had those on and her like little sweatpantsy pants. So I'm like, okay, fine. You want to play on the playground? You're going to be a real nature kid because you're going barefoot. In your socks, she's not cold. It's fine. So I rolled up her pants all the way to her knees. And then she has like her hot pink and black, like super thick ski socks we got like in a Clear's bin for $1, by the way. They're like Under Armour fanciness. So she's like playing on the playground, and then finally I was like, and then finally she and I came to the decision together that we were done because the mulch was up in her business, and the park ranger had already come around and told us all that we were parked in a bad place, and I was just like, I didn't know. I'm sorry, park ranger man. By the way, park rangers are so awesome. Of course they are. They have a great job, but they're awesome. One time when we were camping, it was like, this is how ghetto we are. It was kind of like camping bachelorette party. Not really, but kind of like it was a person in our little group of friends who we camp with who was going to get married soon. So we like had a little to do in which we may have drank a bit too much and then we're a bit too loud, a bit too late. I apologize to all the people of the world who were around me. We were really having a nice time. But anyway, our park ranger came by, and he was so nice, even though we were obviously inappropriate and ridiculous. But he was so nice. Park rangers are awesome. If you're a park ranger, if you know a park ranger, give them a hug. They're great. Now I just admitted that I am a lush, and I make loud noise late at night and disturb other people. I'm the worst human ever. Hi. If you're new to the show, welcome. Oops. I haven't had coffee yet. Shush. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, you knew what you're getting. I have thank yous to say. I want to say thank you very quickly. Well, not very quickly. I want to give it time and focus. But thank you, Robin, for donating to the show. Everybody give her claps. Thanks, Robin. I also wanted to mention, and I apologize, I neglected to mention it last week. The email came kind of like right before I recorded, and sometimes I don't have enough time to process and digest information, but I did it this time. So I just want to mention that Jan Smiley, she is I don't know if she's organizing, she's promoting the Carolina, see, I'm from the Carolina Fiber Frolic. And it is in western North Carolina in a place called Sapphire, North Carolina. And it is being held at the Sapphire Valley Resort. And let me just discuss, people. You need to go check it out. If you are in that area and you want to frolic with fiber and other fiber frolickers and be up to all sorts of shenanigans, I'm sure. It is March 22nd through March 24th, and you can find information at carolinafiberfrolic.com. It looks so much fun. It's like a Friday, Saturday night at a resort with giant big porches that you can sit on in it. It's like one of those all-inclusive things where you get your meal, and it is super cheap. I'm not even kidding you. It is super affordable. I'm not even sure if I could stay at the motel down the street for that price. And then I would have no fiber frolicking. I'm just saying. Go check it out. It looks really fun. If I was there, I would go. Places I am going. I'm totally going to this pipeliner retreat. That's so exciting. It's getting so close. Are you going? I'll see you there. Where else am I going? Oh, the weekend before the pipeliner retreat, which I think it's April 20th. I think April 20th. Anyway, it's the fiber event in Greencastle, Indiana. I'll be there too. Definitely. We should say hi if you're going to be there. There's so much good stuff. And then I just saw that the Kentucky Sheep and Wool Festival is in May, and I want to go to that too. I know. Where's my Star Trek transporter for free? I need that because I want to go to all the places and frolic. And really, I would have so much good stuff to tell you about. That's my excuse, right? I have to have material for the show. I need to shenanigan. I need a cost expense report, shenanigan style. That did not even make sense. You know what I meant. Maybe I should talk about knitting. Maybe. Oh, I'm totally wearing my boardwalk. By stink. Oh, it's by the Shetland Trader lady. And it's made of Peace Fleece DK Sport in the Shaprova mushroom colorway. I remembered all those things. I'm sure I forgot 27 other things, but we're not going to dwell on that. I have knitting. Oh, let me do the spinning. Oh, okay. I have a spinning finished object. I have a knitting finished object, but you can't see it. I finished that shawl for my mom for her birthday. In time for her birthday. Yay me. So it was the Lauren shawl, also by the Shetland Trader. I love her face, evidently. I'm not even going to show it to you because the picture I have of it is really, well, maybe I'll show it to you. The picture I have of it is not the greatest. I will just go ahead and confess. It was in the hotel. Like we went, my mother came. My mother is so crazy. I mean, in a good way. It's her birthday. So what does she want to do for her birthday? There's a quilt store in Indianapolis that she loves. It's called Backdoor Quilts. She loves this quilt store. And if you're registered with them or something, on your birthday, you get your number of years as a discount. So like on my birthday, I'm going to turn 35, so I get 35% off. But if you can imagine, as you get over the 50 mark, well, really, I'm 35%. It's awesome. I'm not doubting and I'm not shaming that discount at all. But I mean, it becomes a greater incentive to drive here to Indianapolis from Cincinnati. So that's what she wanted to do for her birthday. So she and her husband and their friends drove up and they shenaniganed, a quilt store style. And they had a very good time, evidently. And we had a great time because we got to be their poor relations who went and visited them in the hotel and swam. Really? It's like me and my super crazy daughter, by the way. You think I'm crazy. Whoa. She's like me without inhibitions and 75 times more energy. Bites bonko. So it's me and my daughter, and there are sometimes you just feel like the cousins from the Griswold family vacations. Like sometimes you just feel like you're pulling up in your beat up RV and your flat hat and the whole thing. That's how I feel every time we go there because it's kind of a nice hotel. Okay, it's super nice to me. It's a very nice hotel, and they have a swimming pool in the hotel. And my kiddo is super excited about that option. And how cool is that when you're a kid? I mean, it was cool for me. We were swimming and it was snowing outside, and it was just like, wow, this is some fancy stuff, right? It's so fancy. I was still excited. So anyway, so we had to like haul up our, and of course she can't just like be cool and go with her bathing suit because she doesn't have siblings, you know. It's just Mama and Mom to play with in the pool. She needs toys, so she has to have like her bathing suit and her like noodle. Because if you don't know this, I'll share. If you have one of those noodle things, which they're terrible for the environment, don't buy one. Just find one somewhere. But the cool thing about them is you can stick them onto the like jet in the pool, you know, like the water return, and then you can make fountains, which is very exciting. We have that, but it's huge. It's like even when you fold it up and put it in your feed bag, because I'm classy like that, you're obnoxious. Is all there is to it. So anyway, but so the picture is from the hotel, so it's not the greatest. But I'll have proof that I finished it. So there, take that. Look, there's me and me. There's like an infinity loop of me happening right there, which is very creepy for all of you. Wow, that's terrible. Let me turn the brightness on the screen down. It won't be as obnoxious to you. Whoa, she's upside down. Oh, she's right there. That's better, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, there's my thumb. I'm still working on the technology. But anyway, so that was very fun. And we had a very nice time, and that is finished. Yay. Lauren pattern. It was in classic elite silky alpaca lace in the Midnight Forest colorway, I think, on US Force. Last time I was lamenting like how many errors I'd had in it. You actually really couldn't even see them. I don't know why I was so worried. I wasn't worried, because if I was worried, I would have tinked back and fixed them. But I don't even know why it stressed me out at all. It did stress me out. Given the chance, I think I might actually make that shawl again. I know it sounds crazy because I was like not happy when I was making it. I don't know why. I think it was just because I didn't leave myself enough of a window, so I had to knit on it too much, you know? It wasn't like a huge shawl or anything, but I had to knit on it too much, and it made it not as fun. But by the time I got to the edging, it was fun, and even though it took forever, because the applied edging just takes forever. As Paula said, don't think when you get to the applied edging that you're almost done. Think that you're halfway done, because that's about right. It's just hard to adjust that in your mind. But actually, I think I would make it again. I think it really all came down to the fact that I don't like slippery yarn. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't like slippery yarn. It's pretty. I just don't like it. So anyway, so that I think is the only finished object I have. Yeah. Second, unless you guys count gauge swatches, which you don't. So this is my spinning finished object. What? Isn't it fun? So my skeins look really mini because I have a 1.5-yard skein winder that attaches to my Louette wheel, and it's just infinitely easier than putting it on the Nitty Naughty, I'll be honest. Lazy. But this is Roving by Spun Monkey. It's her 100% organic Polworth in the Crab on its Back colorway. All those things. I got like 230-ish yards, but even though it's totally like almost a worsted bulky, heavy worsted, whatever. It's super squishy. It's so awesome. I know I totally diss the soft short staple yarns, but I get it. They're fun. I totally get it. When I washed this, it was weird. It almost felt like it was going to dissolve in the water. Like that's how like buttery it is. It really did. I was like, as I was like mooshing around there, like, oh, it was weird, but in a good way. But now it's lovely and beautiful, and it needs to be something. Oh, I don't have the time. I just need to knit everything and spin everything all the time. I know you all have the same moment. I did. Anyway, prettiness. I totally dig it. Ooh, and I have a spinning work in progress, but I've neglected to bring it over here. So I'm spinning on some Gales art. I'll show you hopefully more next time. Okay. Next work in progress. I made a little bit more progress on my Lala, her Rock Steady Mystery Cow for the Solid Socks group. I made a little bit more progress on it. You make more progress when you remember your cabling needle at the park and you don't have to tooth whittle a beech leaf stem or something crazy. So anyway, I got that. I don't mean that about the pattern. I really do actually really like it. I just wish I had made more time to work on it this week. But I was working on other stuff. So yeah. And this is in, and by the way, tooting my own horn. Not really, because I didn't make the yarn. I just dyed it. But I totally dig this yarn. Okay. I totally do. This is 80% BFL, 20% nylon. 2-ply. I know it's a little sketchy for a soccer 2-ply. I get it. But who doesn't love the way a 2-ply over twist makes stitches look? Look at that. Looks so great. And this is twisted ribbing. Like, this is not regular ribbing, but like, doesn't that look awesome? Here it is in the ball. Yay! Digging it. What else do I have to share? Oh, I'll show you that first. Okay. My Kelly's Ski Sweater, which is a pattern from Knit Picks. It's a kit from Knit Picks. I finished the second sleeve. So now I have 2 sleeves. They are shorter sleeves because it's a drop shoulder sweater, but whatever, they're still done. There's the little increasey part with the little checkerboardness. Now I am knitting on the body. It has considerably more stitches. Considerably more. So now I'm knitting on the body. Not, but you know, a little bit. Whoa. And here it is. And I don't think it actually says the designer. I think it just, yeah, it just says Knit Picks Design Team. So there it is. I'll stop showing you every time. You probably do at least so remember what that looks like. But here's the body. Knitting it on US 2s. And hopefully, where are they? Oh, so close. So, ta-da! I got that much done. And it does not include waist shaping. Oh, by the way, I'm cardiganing the whole thing. I'm not doing that neckline. That's ridiculous. And I'm doing it as a cardigan. And I'm going to do the green I-cord for the zipper. I'm doing a zipper. It's going to be 2-way. It's going to be so cute. I'm so excited. I need to find an avocado green 2-way zipper. It's not going to happen, but I really wanted to. So, oh, so that's the other thing is I'm adding waist shaping, which is a little dicey. But so the arm you saw has the checkerboard where you do the shaping off of. And I thought about doing that on the body, but I didn't really like it that much. It is fine on a sleeve, but I didn't know that I wanted that checkerboard like just this much. That's the other thing. It's like a 4-stitch checkerboard. So it would be like this big on my giant body. And I feel like it would be proportionately weird. So instead I just did 2 brown stitches on either side of the waist shaping. So I'm doing that. Okay. Also, the other thing I did weird is that the cord, ribbing. So, like old school sweater styling, well, not even old school, current school, whatever, but more traditional shaping, is you used to knit your ribbing as small as you could, like on the smallest size needle that you could without like stabbing yourself in the face. And then you would increase 10%-ish from ribbing to body. That does not look good on me at all. Because that's not my shape. Like, I feel like that's a more, well, whatever. It's not my shape. My shape is like this. Like, that's my butt shelf right there. So it's the exact opposite of what I need to have happen. I need my sweater to be as wide as possible at the very bottom and then quickly go in, which I'm doing another sweater right now, which I'll totally show you in a minute. And it does that, which is why I had to cast it on immediately, even though I have another sweater on the needles. So anyway, so what I did instead was I looked at my row gauge, my stitch gauge for the ribbing versus the regular part. And the ribbing does stretch to 6 inches. It's on the same size needle as the body, or 6 stitches per inch, but in a relaxed state, it's 8 stitches per inch. So actually what I did was I cast on 400. And that includes an 8-stitch steek, but whatever. I cast on 400, and then as soon as the ribbing was done, I decreased 40 stitches. And then I'm decreasing more as I go. So I'm doing the opposite. I decreased 10%. Instead of increasing 10%, I decreased 10%. It would have been so much better if I told you that instead of the numbers, because now you're all doing the math to figure out how big my hips are. They're giant. You can't see them. They're this big. They're as big as the world. But anyway, so that's what I did. I did that different. I'm just going to see how it works. I think I'm going to be pleased with it because the sleeve, which I already threw away, the sleeve definitely gets a little bit of a bubble from the ribbing to the body, thing, which is good for a sleeve, but not for a hip for me. So that's what I did. I don't know. We'll see how it works. Sometimes you make crazy decisions. Then you just do 400 stitches of corrugated ribbing just for funsies. I like to smoke all of the drugs. Not really. Although that's probably not the best ad for don't do drugs. You might be me. Okay, so the next thing I'm working on, I don't know if you recall, I did this little hat pattern called Saintly Dreams. Some of you are knitting it with me and I knit along. Crazy yarn. If you would like to knit along with us, the knit along ends March 10th, I think. This is a prize. It says this. I'm just saying. Get a project done and maybe win a prize. Just saying. Little project. Super quick. So this is how much I have so far. I just did the ribbing. I had to slow down. Didn't want to speed through the whole thing. It's great to have a knit along in a small project. So fun. So there it is. Yay! And this is actually just fisherman's wool, which I dyed in an experimental styliness. Which I totally dig, by the way. Not gonna lie, totally dig it. And so, yay. That's the corrugated-ish ribbing. I like it. US 5s. Some people need to go up a size or two. Always check your gauge. Okay. Okay. Last work in progress. I totally fell down the rabbit hole. I'm not even gonna lie. I couldn't lie because I have things to show you. And then I wouldn't show you that thing and that would make no sense. But I fell down the rabbit hole, yo. Okay, so the Botanical Knits ebook came out. Everybody reviewed it. I didn't review it, but I did buy it. And now I'm making stuff out of it. Okay. So what I am making, what I cast on for, I can't make this thing work, is the Twigs and Willows. I love it. It's made with Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. I'm not making it with that. I mean, not because I'm like, I am not making it with that, but just because that's not what I'm making with. So I won't even show you the ebook because you know it's beautiful, but I do want to show you this other picture of the sweater. Because this, okay, well, this is beautiful, the top part, right? Gorgeous, not even a question. But this totally got me. Look at the bottom. Look at that ribbing. There's shaping in the ribbing. That's what I need for my shelf butt. Brilliant. Anyway, it looks very slick too. It's very pretty. What else can I say? It's gorge. I'm making it. And I'm making it out of yarn I dyed. Okay. So this is 100% superwash BFL. It's a DK weight. Now some of you are like, that's a worsted weight. But Brooklyn Tweed Shelter is a worsted weight, but I think it's a worsted weight because of its halo. Like it's a very fine worsted weight. I have never knit with it, so I can't give you firsthand, but I know that I have knit other patterns that suggested Brooklyn Tweed as a yarn, or were knit the sample in Brooklyn Tweed with worsted weight yarns, and my gauge was always way bigger. So I figured if I knit it with a DK, it'd work out. Guess what did? Or is. It didn't, because I'm not like finished. Wouldn't that be awesome? Bam, I'm done. That's not what happened. But there's the ribbing, okay. It's like ready orange excitement. It's my first red sweater ever. I'm very excited about it. I am knitting, the pattern suggests you knit on 7s. I am knitting it on 4s, I think. Here's my gauge swatch. So I started with 5, see my little 5 yarn overs. It became obvious very quickly that that was way too loose because I always start 2 sizes smaller. So then I did the 4s, and I was like, man, I don't know, that might still be pushing it. So then I went to a 3. 3 and 4, I got almost the same gauge, so I'm not sure which one I'm using yet. When I do the top, that yoke that has the stitchy, stitch, the leafy motif, I will go down to a 3 on that, probably for sure, just to make that pop a little bit better, because this is not going to look as beautiful in that stitch as a Brooklyn tweed, probably. But I hope this looks pretty. It looks pretty in ribbing. Okay. So, 100% BFL DK. Fat squirrel fibers. Oh, shut up. Okay, so that is the show. If you would like to stick around, I have some shameless self-promotion for you. Shameless! I say. But if not, I won't begrudge you that. No. I won't know. So anyway, if you're leaving, I kiss your face. I hope you have a lovely week. And I will totally touch you next time. But if you would like to stay around. Okay. Officially, you're gone? Okay, it's just us. Okay. So I hinted last week that I'm going to open a store. It has occupied a lot of my mind for the last 3 months, and a lot of my time for the last month, and so, but it's been occupying a lot of the space. So, but I have some stuff to show you. I'm hoping that this stuff will all be available starting on Saturday morning. That's my plan, Stan. It will be, you can just find it by going to thefatsquirrel.com, and then I'll have like a little thing in the right-hand corner that you can click. But it'll be Fat Squirrel Fibers on Big Cartel. Hopefully everything goes okay. I'm so nervous. So I'll show you the first thing. The first thing is this month's project bag. Shush. So it's got a big bottom. Okay. And right now it has a zipper pull. Very fun. So, it has the little zipper stopper covers. It's fully lined with the drill. Oh, and what? There's some stuff in there. So this currently has 300-gram skeins of yarn in it, and it's got plenty of room. So this would be a good project for a larger shawl, or like if you're working on a sweater and you don't want to take the whole thing around with you. All that good stuff. Or if you have hats or something and scarves. I don't know. It's this big. Inside it has some stuff. So there's all the 3-color shawls, right? I love the 3-color shawls. I can find 2 colors. I can never find 3. So I decided that what I would do is dye you 3 colors. And they kind of coordinate-ish. They're inspired by. Let's say that. It's not a literal interpretation. They're inspired by. So these are all 100% BFL. It's the same one I showed you in my sock. It's a high twist. No, it's not 100% BFL. It's 80% BFL, and that's blue face licer, if you don't know. And 20% nylon. It's a 2-ply high twist, 400 yards to skein. Semi-solid, because I love a semi-solid. So yeah, there it is. So there's those. What I'm kind of planning to do tentatively in my mind, I'll share with you. See what you think. You don't have to tell me. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I won't care if you don't tell me. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So what I'm doing in my mind is the thought at this point is that there will be like monthly colorways. And I do love a semi-solid. I'm not saying that I'll never do hand-paid variegateds, but I love a semi-solid. So there you go. So there's those 3. Then there's some more. These are shawl skeins, so they're 150 grams, so they're 600 yards. And these are MCN and 80-10-10, so 80 merino, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon. And did I say they're 600 yards? I think I did. So yeah. I'm so shy, embarrassed, and excited, but nervous too. So there's those. There'll be the DK in the red and the blue. So what I'm going to do now, this time around, and maybe, I don't know, in the future, I don't know, but for this time around for sure, there are some skeins dyed up, project bags are all made, all that good stuff. But I think what I would like to do, since I do not know if you guys are interested at all, because if you're not, I completely understand. There's a million beautiful dyers out there. But that's what I thought about when I started the podcast. And look, you're all watching. So sometimes you just gotta fail it up. Risk it. So I totally understand if you're not interested. But if you are, this time around, what I'm going to primarily operate off of is like a pre-order system, because I really have no idea if this is going to wash at all. So I hope you forgive me for this time, but it'll be like a 2-week turnaround on dyes. At the most 3 weeks. But so when the shop goes up on Saturday, there will be stuff that's immediately ready for you, and then there will also be pre-order slots. And then I will get those out to you just as soon as I can. Like, it's a high priority in my time, so I will get them to you. There will not be like a 4-week wait unless something crazy happens, world explodes, and I'll tell you right away. But so that's the plan. Hopefully in the longer term distance, that will not be the case. Like, I'll have a better idea of what quantities I need to have available to meet demand, and it won't be that kind of turnaround. Because I like to buy stuff, I like to be able to get it soon. I gave you my money, give me my stuff. So I totally get that, and that hopefully is the plan long term. But again, at this point, not sure if be like, that is totally not interesting to me at all. And I was like, that bums me out, but that's okay, because now I got some shawls to do. Okay. So it's okay. So anyways, that's all gonna be up there. And yeah, I guess that's all. I'll tell you next time. Bye.